Hi friends, I'm Maura Chantrell, and this is
Brighton.
And we're going to do a sensory bin activity today. Here we have our sensory bins. We have some plants growing in this one, but in this one, it's full of water. And Brighton collected some things in her basket from around the house and around the yard, some things that we found in nature, and we're going to test them out in our water and see if they float on top or if they sink to the bottom. Ready, Brighton? Oh, first we have a pot, a little flower pot. Let's see, does it float or sink? Oh, it sank right to the bottom. Let's try something else. Oh, this one is a walnut shell. Oh, it's floating. It's really light. Okay, Brighton, let's try something else. Do you think this one is gonna float or sink?
I think it's going to float.
Think it's gonna float?
Yes.
You're right, it floats. It's like a boat. You wanna put something inside the boat? Well, maybe it could carry something. Oh no, did you see that? The rock made the shell too heavy, and so it sank to the bottom. On its own, it was floating, and now it's too heavy. All right, Brighton, let's try something else. A pencil. Do you think the pencil will float or sink?
I think it will sink.
Oh, it's floating. It's pretty solid, but it's so light that it still floats on top of the water. All right, what else do you have?
Here is a candle. Oops.
That's okay. Let's put the candle in and see if it floats or sinks. Oh, it's floating. Nice. All right, let's try some of those leaves and flowers in there. Oh, the leaf floats. It's so light and spread out. It just sits right on top of the water. What about this flower?
I think it will float.
The flower floats too. Hey, Brighton, what if you stir it up and get the water on the leaves and the flowers? Do you think it'll
I think it will.
still float?
No, I think it will drown.
It'll sink if we put too much water on it? Maybe. The flowers are still floating, but the leaves are starting to sink more. Interesting. Okay, let's try the pine cone and some bark chips. Oh, the pine cone floats on top of the water too. Oh, this seashell that has a hole in it that spirals all the way in. Oh, it's floating. It's floating, but I bet if we turn it just a little bit so that the water goes in the hole, I bet it'll sink. Oh, it didn't sink. I was wrong. It just flipped over. Now there's an air bubble in here holding it up, so it's still floating. All right, let's put in, oh, we have one more seashell. Can you put that in? Oh, that one sank right to the bottom, but the other seashell floated. Huh, I guess this one is shaped more like a boat, and this one is more flat, like a leaf.
Oops.
All right, can you put the bark chip in? Oh, the bark chip floats too. Must be very light. And then a rock. Let's try the rock. Oh, it sank right to the bottom. Rocks are heavy, dense. They sink right to the bottom. Oh, and another flower. It floats. Does this flower sink if we stir it up in the water? Or does it still float like the other one? It still floats. You want to put in that bark chip and sprinkle some grass in? It's all floating. Wow, all these leaves and flowers are doing a really good job of floating. But all the shells and rocks are sinking. Wow, thanks for your help with that experiment, Brighton. Have fun!